1 year ago, I switched to Android, and today I'm gonna try and convince him to swap back to Apple. Let's go in. Okay, just picking up.
Yeah, have you got your QR code?
Yes.
About a year ago, I made the controversial decision to switch from being a lifelong iPhone user to becoming an Android owner.
I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I might be switching to Android.
And I did this because every single year since the 13, I had bought a brand new iPhone. But every year I returned it because it just felt like the same phone in a new box. And so, because of that, about a year ago, instead of upgrading from the 13 to the 16, I upgraded to the forbidden Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra.
Damn, that does look good. That looks good. Oh, that's fantastic.
And I haven't looked back since, until Apple brought out an orange iPhone.
YouTube. Thank you. That's it. Amazing. Thank you so much. Have a good day. We got all of them. Right, buddy. Ready to get tempted? Woo! Situated them real nice to really give you that Apple experience.
I really tried to close my eyes when I was in there and not look at any of the stuff. I didn't even gaze at the Air, because that one I want to be a virgin for. This has been one that everyone is hyped about right now. So I had to pick them up because I don't have a pair of AirPods.
Damn, bro has never top-down unboxed anything.
This is the first time. I don't even know what this is, just a user manual.
Okay.
We've all seen that. All right, and there you go. You got a little lanyard piece there, which is beautiful. Now, do these appear re-jigged? They do a little bit. They definitely have a different shape.
Different shape. There should be extra ear tips as well at the bottom there.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
Right down. Those things might touch your brain on the way in. I think let's get to the phones.
I did ask what the most popular one was so far in the first day, and they said orange.
Really?
And you know what they said?
Surprising.
They said one of the girls said orange is the new black. And I was like, yo, Apple designed that just for that saying.
Close up.
Ballerina fingers right there. I think we've all seen a pull tab before, bud. What if we both end up liking silver more? Because orange was a pretty crazy one.
You're wearing an orange outfit, and then you have your orange phone, and it could be like, ugh.
Yeah, because also, if you have a case with the silver one, then it could be quite nice to mix and match the colors.
This is, you get a SIM ejector tool, which you don't anywhere else. It's just, I think EU and UK is the only places that have physical SIMs. There's two different versions of the 17 Pro, one eSIM and one physical SIM. One of them has more battery. And I believe, yeah, and I believe if it doesn't say on here, I'll put it up on text.
Those look good. I think that is a pretty safe. I would go with that one over the blue.
You do the Air.
That's a lot of responsibility right there.
Did I make a mistake going for orange?
That is orange. That is a very nice orange. I'm not gonna lie to you.
If you do decide to switch to the iPhone,
Yeah.
will you put a case on it, or you're keeping it caseless?
Yeah, I'm a caseless kind of guy. Look, this is a beautiful phone, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I love the orange, but I am a little bit concerned that I do wish that they did black, because I think the black with a two-tone effect would look really good.
All right, and then the moment that we're all been waiting for, step in there.
The Air. I'm very tempted by the Air, and that's why I bought it. I'm going to make a decision whether I want the Pro or the Air.
I'm a big Air hater.
All right, you ready? This is the blue colorway.
Oh, why would they do it that way?
I've never seen that.
That is that a mistake?
Oh my lord.
Feels, come on.
No, that feels like half a phone in your hand.
It's a very nice color. Yeah.
USB-C. So you don't get a SIM ejector in here?
This is eSIM worldwide. So you are considering going with this phone over the Pro?
I do love the blue. Yeah, no, I think this looks objectively way better than that. This is by far the best looking iPhone out of the lineup. Immediately noticed that USB-C port is not centered. Yeah, that is off center.
Oh, to the top.
Yeah, it's like lower down instead of dead center in the middle.
Let me get a feel.
Oh yeah, of course. Feels incredible, doesn't it?
That's pretty crazy. You know, someone's shot.
Do a little side by side. Hold that. That feels like a brick. compared to that.
That's pretty crazy. Rightio, well, I guess let's set these things up to a usable condition and then start the test.
It's now time for the camera test. We're gonna be testing the Air, the Pro Max, and of course,
S24 Ultra.
and we'll also do a 14 as well, just so you can see like if it's actually gotten better or not.
I think this is where your dreams die for the Air.
So this is real color stress test. I got a blue jacket on, red cap, green background, lots of vegetation out here.
Okay, all right. 3, 2, 1, pose.
So, initial impressions on the photo test. I'm not gonna lie to you, my eyes are drawn to the S24 Ultra. Now, there's not a lot in it, but you can see the saturation just is a little bit better on the Ultra. Pay attention to the detail in the bush and even the shoes. It's just a little bit sharper. There's better dark colors with the black on the shorts too. The 17 Pro and the Air seems to kind of blow out some of the shoes and some of the brighter colors, whereas the Samsung keeps it nice and clean. So yeah, I think the picture round goes to the Samsung.
Yeah, let's do a zoom test.
Goes just straight as far, like don't try and go left or right. Where do you want me to zoom? Your face?
As far as you can go.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Now for the zoom, is this even a competition? My lord. With the Samsung, I am staring into bro's soul. Now the 17 Pro Max, it still picks up a lot of good detail. And as for the Air, good lord, there are Bigfoot sightings that are clearer than that. The practicality of needing that much zoom is debatable, but you know, for the average UFO spotter hobbyist, Samsung picked that one up.
I'm trying to convince Dylan of switching over to Apple. This has been shot on the Samsung S24 Ultra.
Now this is where things get a little bit tricky. It's really hard to tell on first impression which one is better, but once you really zoom in and you look at the details, the S24 almost looks too sharp and it has too much of a contrast. Like Elliot looks like he's wearing freaking eyeliner in this. Whereas the Pro Max and the Air, which look very similar, have a more warmer tone to it, more natural. So if I have to pick, and there's not much in it, but I would give this to the 17.
All right, this is the front-facing camera on the Samsung S24 Ultra.
Okay, yeah, this one is a little bit embarrassing for the Android community. As you can see, the red is a bit too dark, the background is too much of a deep green, and the skin tone, it's odd. The sharpness is super high. You can see individual pores, whereas in the other ones, it just, you know, makes you look a little bit better. And between the Air and the 17, they're using the same front camera. So for this one, it's a pretty big margin. iPhone wins.
But let's try out that new feature. Landscape footage holding it in portrait. This is wild. I can get a whole group in here. Easy, so much area to cover. This is, I think, a game changer. Now, I also wanted to compare the older iPhone, specifically the 14 Pro Max, which is my current daily driver, to the latest iPhone. So starting with the camera test, you can clearly see that the newer iPhones are leaning towards more saturation. 14 looking slightly less detailed and a little bit more washed out. But overall, still interesting to see that this gap is relatively marginal, considering this is a 3-generation difference between the two. The zoom test is definitely interesting. That seems like the big upgrade on the 17 Pro Max, getting a lot closer and more detail. And again, another great example of how poor the Air performs in terms of zoom in comparison. The 14 older model is definitely winning here. The video test I thought was pretty interesting. It looks like the 14 Pro Max had more contrast, maybe a little bit more sharpening. Overall, I would say that the 17 does seem to retain a little bit more of that natural look. The front-facing cameras do seem like they have a pretty big upgrade. Just in terms of quality, it does seem like the 17 and the Air do both have a marginal bump in just overall good looking pictures in comparison to the 14.
So the next test is actually one of the main reasons that I switched over to Samsung Android, and that is AI features. There's some really great features on here. We're gonna do a test of a few features, and I think this is where Android probably leaps out in front of iPhone. But what would we say? The first test out Siri?
I've heard that this Siri has got some major improvements.
Should I start with mine?
Go for it.
Okay, so I'm buying Apple Care for an iPhone in the UK, but I'm thinking about moving to the United States. Would my Apple Care still be valid in the United States, or should I wait?
Apple Care Plus offers international coverage, Service options can be limited to the country where you are. It is best to contact Apple support directly.
Theoretically, Siri should know more than that, right?
You'd hope so.
She works for them. Hey Siri, so I have a question. I'm wondering if I purchase Apple Care in the UK for my new iPhone, does that transfer over to the US if I move there, or will I need to get another Apple Care package while I'm in the US?
Oh, I didn't think that it could get a little bit worse than that, but that's horrendous.
So it just pulls up a search, like an option to search it on Google. Siri, tell me a joke. It has to be a good one.
What sits at the bottom of the sea and twitches? A nervous wreck.
Tell me a joke and make it good.
Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything.
So the other thing that I use all the time is if you go on the internet and you're looking at a news article and stuff, you can very easily summarize. I summarize the entire article and be like, oh sweet, I got everything, I can translate it, I can copy it. That is a beautiful feature. Can yours do that?
Summarize for me, please.
To answer that, I'll need to use ChatGPT. A British couple who had been detained by the Taliban for several months have been released from prison, according to BBC News.
That's
we're
not
talking.
bad. But it doesn't stop there because we also have circle to search. So for example, if I go over on my TikTok and let's say I'm perusing one of my videos, if one of them comes up and I'm like, I'm very interested about more information on, let's say, oh, look at that. Found the top that I was wearing. And I now get to find out, I also know me, but then the top two, oh nice, I can get the Sorrento jersey. There you go.
That's crazy, dog. This always exists.
I think AI definitely goes to the Samsung, but we also have some other things, because there was one thing that I didn't really like since switching to this phone, and that was the speaker. But for the most part, you're going to be watching a video anyway.
Supreme drop happening tomorrow, and it's time to lock in because CPFM and Nike is dropping today. Welcome to the midweek re-up.
Doesn't it sound a bit tinny?
It does. It's very loud though.
Guys, today we've got Costco Nike Dunks. A huge Supreme drop happening tomorrow, and it's the dunks that we've been taking a look at for a while now. There's a bunch of wild colorways. In general, these are some lock in because CPFM and Nike is dropping today. Welcome to the midweek re-up. Some interesting things happening in today's.
So you won't be able to tell probably just through these mics, but the iPhone was not only louder, but it had a deeper bass. This kind of sounded a little bit tinny.
Very tinny. Now for the king of speakers.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Oh, that clearly struggles with the low end.
It's weird it coming from one speaker. It is noticeable. That's rough. I mean, look, it gets the job done, but if you want to, like, you know, you're in the shower and you want to just put your phone down, play a bit of music, that is rough.
So what could get you to switch to an iPhone again?
Well, I think I'm going to use it genuinely for a week.
Like right now, what percentage are you in terms of switching to Apple?
45%. I think the main thing is work. Because right now I have a kind of like a personal phone and then this one where I can work with it. So if it all syncs up nicely in one, could be that. What is the percentage of you swapping to the Air from the Pro?
I think it only comes down to camera and battery life. Mainly camera. So what I'm gonna do is
Wait. Before you even get to, because we were gonna do this B-roll after, but tell me which one you prefer when you look at the zoom. All right, we can end the video on his reaction. All right, get your zoom one. Ready? That is full zoom.
It's supposed to be the same one,
bro.
Holy.
And I think that concludes it. We will see you in about a week's time to see if Elliot has switched over to the Air and if I have switched over to the 17.